Welcome you all to the video on encoding circuit for an Nkamake cyclic code. So in the previous video we have seen how to generate the cyclic code in two ways. One is the non-systematic method, the other one is systematic method. So in the non-systematic form we had seen that the code word we were not being able to distinguish between the parity bits and the data bits, whereas in the systematic form we can segregate the parity bits and as well as the data bits. So in this particular video we are going to look at the encoding, the circuit that is used for the encoding purpose. So since we need a proper uh, structure for the code word that is going to be generated, this encoding circuit will be implemented on the basis of systematic form. What is that systematic form? That means we are going to generate the code words for the Nkamake cyclic code, where the n bits of information or code word will be consisting of k number of message bits with n minus k number of parity bits. So keeping this in mind, so now we will see how to generate this kind of cyclic codes. So what will happen here is, let us see now. The cyclic codes, why we are going with cyclic code, the basic necessity is the ease of construction of an encoder as well as the syndrome circuit. So what is that? We have seen in the properties or the properties of the cyclic code that codes are generated by finding out the remainder which is obtained by dividing the n x raised to n plus 1 by the uh, generator polynomial. Okay, so and this will be multiplied by dx, and this is the quotient. So the remainder whatever we'll get will be the remainder polynomial. The coefficients of the remainder polynomial will form the n minus k parity bits, whereas the dx will form the k number of message bits. So this is how we are going to obtain the code word. So in order to find out the code word vx, so there will be two parts. One is the remainder polynomial, the other one is the data polynomial. So this is already known to us. We are supposed to find r of x from d of x using this division procedure. So let us see how we are going to do that. Okay, so we are going to look at the procedure or the circuit which does this process. The circuit consists of the shift registers and few logical gates. So you can see over here the shift register is formed by R0, R1, R0, R1, R2, R of n minus k minus 1. So this is going to be the flip-flops that makes the shift register. So this is a n minus k length shift register. And we are going to make use of shift registers along with few modulo 2 adders which are placed where it accepts the input from the message bits as well as the previously stored data from the each one of the flip-flop. And this gate is used to send or convey the data information to the individual shift register after the operation. So what we are basically doing here is we need to find out a procedure, or we need to find out a mechanism to find the division process of x power n plus 1 divided by g of x into d into x. So we need to do this division process so as to obtain a remainder. So what we do, how we obtain this remainder is, we are going to feed the data d one by one into the shift register. So you can see over here d0, d1, d2, so on up to dk minus 1 will be fed one after the other into the shift register, and using g1, g2 so on up to g of n minus k, we are going to find out the remainder polynomial. So the remainder polynomial is the content in the flip-flops that is left after the entire data has been fed completely. That is, all the k bits should have crossed into the, or applied to the shift register, and it should have come up. So once everything is fed, whatever the contents of the R0, R1, R2, so on up to R of n minus k minus 1 would be, those are called as remainder. So you can see over here it has been marked as a remainder. So that's why it is, the flip-flops are also named as R0, R1, R2, which are the coefficients of the remainder polynomial. So let us see how this is going to work. So in the beginning, what we do is, how do we feed this information is, in the first step, what we will do, we are going to disable, we are going to use this d0, d1, d2, so on up to dk minus 1 to be sent into the shift register. For that, we were going to disable this switch. Now what we will do, we are going to apply to the switch. So apply to the switch number 1. In this case, what will happen is, we are going to feed the dk minus 1 into the channel first, followed by dk minus 2, so on up to d0. So what we will do, since we are feeding the information, if d is a vector, we will send the highest power coefficient corresponding to the highest power in x, that we will feed in first. Assume that I'm having a 7,4 cyclic code. That means the data stream would be d0, d1, d2, d3. So whenever we are sending or pushing this into the shift register, d3 will go first, followed by d2, followed by d1, then the last one is d0. So likewise, if you consider over here, the switch position is now at 1. Now dk minus 1 will go over here. Initially the contents of the R0, R1, R2 would be 0. dk minus 1 will go. Since this gate is enabled, this will just bypass, this will just send the information dk minus 1 to all these lines. Okay, so these are the g1, g2, so up to g of n minus k minus 1 coefficient. If g1, if any of the coefficient of g, that is generator polynomial, if it is equal to 1, we just short it. If g of I, if any of the coefficient is equal to 0, then we neglect that part and then we open circuit it. So you can see here, if gi is equal to 1, it will be a closed path. If gi is equal to 1, it will be an open path. So this gate is, if it is enabled, it is an AND gate actually. When you enable only, this process is going to happen. So this process, once dk minus 1 is fed, you can see over here, first dk minus 1 is entering here, then it will get modulo 2 added, and then it is sent to the next shift register, so on and so forth. So to understand this, so this process will continue until all the d0 will be all the data bits are exhausted. So once, meanwhile, when we are doing this, we are also sending the data into the channel. First dk minus 1 would go, then followed by dk minus 2, so on. At the last, we are going to send the d0. So the MSB will be sent first, follow the last we will send the LSB. Now what will happen, once you send the complete d0, once you send the entire data, the last data bit that would enter is d0. It will be modulo 2 added with the content in the last shift register or the flip-flop, and then last flip-flop in the shift register, then it will be sent. This data would be sent, and everything the output will be recognized for each and every flip-flop. Then what will happen, the switch will toggle to position number 2, and this one would be disabled. Now what will happen, now the contents of the shift register would be the coefficients of the remainder. Now these values will be coming out of the shift register one by one. So once you disable this, once you disable or give this enable is equal to 0, the AND gate will cease to operate. Then in the position 2, you will first extract Rn k minus 1, whatever the content is there. Then Ren minus k minus 2, so on up to the content of R0 gets conveyed to the channel after the n minus k number of clock cycles. So this is how the encoder circuit of the cyclic code will work. Let us consider an example and then try to understand in deep. So we will be considering a 7,4 cyclic code first. For a beginner, we will start off with a simple scenario where it is a 7,4 encoder. So what we need to do is, the question is to design an encoder of 7,k binary cyclic code with the generator polynomial given by 1 plus x cube, and we need to verify the operation of it on message vector. So they have given for what message vector, we need to find out the code word, which is 1011. So let us try to understand how to write the circuit first. So as we know, g of x can be written as 1 into x power 0 plus 1 into x raised to 1 plus 0 into x square plus 1 into x power 3. So the highest, as we know, the generator polynomial is of degree n minus k. In this case, n is 7, k is 4, which is equal to 3. So we have reached the degree of 3. So this is our generator polynomial. So you can compare this with the g0, g1, g2, the standard expression, that is g of x is equal to g0 plus g1 of x plus g2 into x square plus g3 into x3. So comparing this, we obtain g0 is equal to 1, then g1 is equal to 1, then g2 is equal to 0, g3 is equal to 1. So these are the coefficients of the generator polynomial. Using this, we shall write. So now remainder polynomial would be of the size, as we know, it will be n minus k, because in order to form a 7-bit code word, k number of bits would be data bits, and the rest n minus k would be the remainder polynomial. That means there will be 3 bits. 3 bits means we will have 3 flip-flop. That is 3 flip-flop in a shift register. One is named as R0, the other one is named as R1, the last one is R2. So please remember, we have to always start the LSB on the extreme left and MSB on the extreme right. Now we have to put an adder wherever it is necessary. So you can see over here, actually we were supposed to add over here, put a modulo 2 adder. We will construct like this. There will be one modulo 2 adder here also. So this goes here. Then we will have a gate to which one input would be enable input. The other input will be the output of modulo 2 adder. Then to this modulo 2 adder, one input is from R2. The other input will be from the message vector that we will be providing as an input. So this message vector D will be input. So this is switch number 1, and the output of the last flip-flop will be the position for switch to where we are going to obtain the remainder polynomial coefficients. So this is going to be a toggle. Now this gate, how to connect to the individual modulo 2 adder is, you can see over here, the G naught value is equal to 1. So this G naught will be correspondingly an input for R naught. So this is G naught and the connection is there. Its coefficient is 1, therefore there is a connection. Now G1 is equal to 1. So therefore for this modulo adder, G1 would be equal to 1. Since for this modulo 2 adder, you could see it is the second modulo 2 adder corresponding to G2, which is having the coefficient is equal to 0. So this would be an open connection, which means there will be no connection here. So that means I can disable this modulo 2 adder but simply connect from R1 to R2. So this is my first modulo 2 adder and this is the second modulo 2 adder. So this is the circuit or the encoder circuit for the N, K cyclic code. So now let us look at the how to find out. Now we have designed an encoder for 7,4 cyclic code. Now let us see and verify its operation for the message vector given by 1011. So let us see how this works. Because there are shift registers, it will work on the basis of clock. So that we know. We shall see the working of this. Let me consider the initial data bits that are present in the shift registers. So initially you have all the entries inside the shift register as 0, 0, 0, R0 is 0, R1 is 0, now it is R2. So what is our assumption is, whenever a clock is applied, whatever that will be present on the input side will enter into the register and suddenly this bit will come out as an output. So keeping that in mind, this is 0, 0, 0. Now the data that is given to us was the message for which we need to find out the code vector is 1011. So please remember, D is 1011 and out of this is the LSB and this would be MSB. Why is that so? Because D can be expressed as 1 into x power 0, 0 into x power 1 plus 1 into x square plus 1 into x cube. So you can see the highest power in x is having the coefficient 1 and followed by the lowest powers of x. So since the data is 1011, so as I said, the first input that I am going to give here is the value equal to 1. So when I give the MSB first, the highest coefficient of highest power of x, so this enters. Assume that this enable is already being given as 1. Now the gate is enabled, that means this is going to pass this data. So for this entire operation, this gate will be on, please remember. So this 1 comes out here. The output of the R2 is 0. So 0 modulo 2 added with 1 is 1. So the output of the modulo 2 added is 1. So you get in this channel also you get 1. In this line also you get 1. Then what is going to happen? The new values that are going to get stored in R0, R1 and R2 are, this enters the register newly 1. So whatever the previous one was there, that is 0, it comes out of the shift register. 0 gets added with 1. So 1 gets passed over here. Then this previously there was 0 over here, that gets pushed to R2. So what is now the contents of the shift register? It is 110. So for the data when the first clock cycle, so the first clock, number of clock that I have given is the first one, data in is 1, the content of the shift register R0, R1, R2 is, for this case it is 110, and this is also being sent into the channel. So please remember, this is one is sent. Next, we will go to the clock cycle 2. In the clock cycle 2, previously the contents of the shift registers were 110. Now the data, the powers from the last, the data next data bit would be 1. So here there is already 1. Now I am putting another 1, so you get another 1 over here. Now you put, since you have another 1, 1 will appear. 0 modulo 2 added with 1 will give me 1. So this get sent into R0 and the modulo 2 adder. So now what will happen? This 1 gets stored again. So this 1 remains as 1. But this previous 1 will be pushed out. 1 XOR with 1. 1 modulo 2 added with 1 will give me 0. Then previously there was 1. So this gets shifted to the right, which is, I am going to obtain finally the output of the shift registers as 101. So in the clock cycle 2, the data in that I am giving is bit 1. For this, the shift registers value would be R0, R1, R2 would be 101. So this is the second clock cycle. Coming to the next, this is the clock cycle 3. In the clock cycle 3, the data I have already sent 2 bits now. The third bit in my data sequence is 1011. Out of this, the third bit that I need to send is 0. Now the previous contents of the shift registers are 101, 1, 0, 0 modulo 2 added with 1 is 1. So you are going to enter 1 and 1 over here. So 1 will enter here. So previously 1 was there. So 1 ORed with modulo 2 added with 1 is 0 again. The 0 which was there previously in R1 gets shifted to R2. Now what is going to happen? 1011 is the content. So data in is 0 and the R0, R1, R2 data is 100. Okay, so this is clock number 3. So now we have effectively sent 3 bits. Coming to clock number 4, the fourth clock pulse, the last data bit enters now. So the data in that I'll be providing is last bit is also 1. So in that case, the channel will have now complete data. Now 1, the previous state of shift register is 100. Now 1 enters here. It gets added with 0. 1 goes here. 1 and a 1. Now again what will happen? This 1 enters the R0 and the previous one which was there 1 plus 1 will send out a 0. So 0 will be sent over here. Previous 0 that was in R1 will be sent to R2. So it will remain in the same state. That is, the contents of R0, R1, R2 is 100. So now we are done with sending all the data bits into the channel. Once we freeze this 100 and we have sent all the data bits, now the division process is complete. Now what is going to happen? We are going to disable this gate so that even if the data is available over here, what will happen is, it will, though it will add, nothing will go into this. So rather, we will consider those inputs as don't care inputs. So in the next clock cycle, what will happen? This 0 will come out and it will be sent to the channel. So this switch gets toggled to position number 2. This 0 will be sent out. Then in the, this is clock number 5. In clock number 5, data is don't care, and R0, R1, R2 would be it would get shifted. Once this 0 comes out, it gets shifted to 0, 1, 0. Okay, 0, 1, 0, because this will completely get shifted by 1 bit. Since there is no output here, it gets changed to 0. Then coming to clock number 6, previously the content was 0, 1, 0. Now in clock number 6, since it is still in position number 2, I am left out with another 0. So this 0 also comes out. So I'll be writing one more 0. Now the contents of the shift register after applying the clock would be 0, 0, 1. So I'm left out with still bit 1. So this is clock number 6. Data in is again a don't care. I mean, we have not applied any data, and the content in R1, R2 are not R1, R2 are 0, 0, 1. Lastly, we are left out with 0, 0, 1. In clock number 7, the data is still a don't care. It's a don't care condition. The R0, R1, R2, this one is pushed out into the channel. Previously 2 zeros were sent. Now this one gets pushed out into the channel. So ultimately the contents in the shift register would be all 0 condition. So this is our coded vector. You can see V is given by 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1. So this is our coded vector, out of which the last 4 bits are data bits. The first 3 are reminder bits that we are going to obtain. So let us consider the method that we have used to. So this is the truth table. We can signify all the operations that I showed instead of writing every time the diagram. So we can write it like this. That means initialization, that is which whenever we are starting, the contents of the shift registers are 0, 0, 0. In the clock cycle 1, when I give the input as 1, the shift register contents we are going to write. So finally at the end of entry of all the data bits, whatever R0, R1, R2 is obtained, that is what we call it as a reminder bits, and then it is extracted one by one. You can see over here. First the reminder polynomial, the last bit is obtained, followed by next, followed by the very next. So let us see how to realize or how to find out this reminder when we do it manually. Yes, so we shall do manual calculation. So the data that is given to us is, and let us verify whether the obtained output is correct or not. The data that is given to us is 1, 0, 1, 1, and the generator polynomial that is given to us is 1 plus x cube, and data we can write it as 1 plus x square plus x cube. So how to find out r of x? Now we can find this out in a systematic way. The systematic form of obtaining the cyclic code is, first we need to obtain r of x, which is found out by x power n minus k into d of x divided by g of x plus q of x. This is, please remember, this is x raised to n minus k into d of x divided by g of x plus q of x. Now let us find out how to do this. So x raised to n minus k is equal to, for this case, x raised to 7 minus 4, which is x cube into 1 plus x square plus x cube. We need to divide this by 1 plus x cube. Let us do that. So once we multiply x cube with the data, the divisor that we get is x cube into x cube is x power 6, x square into x power 3 is x power 5 plus x power 3. So the generator polynomial is x cube plus x plus 1. So let us divide this. So the first term would be x power 3. So I'm going to get x power 6 plus x power 4 plus x cube. So cancel out the terms wherever it is possible. X power 5 plus x power 4. So you can write the second term as x square. X power 5 plus x power 3 plus x square. So you can cancel the terms wherever it is possible. X power 4 plus x cube plus x square is left out. Now still the power of the remainder is greater than the divisor. So we have to continue with the division process. X power 4 plus x square plus x. So we'll be left out with x cube plus x. So I'll use plus 1. So it is x cube plus x plus 1. So I'm left out with 1 as the remainder. So what is meant by 1 as the remainder? If I'm writing in terms of polynomial, I can write this as we already know, r of x is the polynomial of degree n minus k. N minus k minus 1 actually. So you can write this as 1 into x power 0 plus 1 into x power 1 plus 1 into x square. N minus k is 3 minus 1 is x square. So I can write this, we can write this as, this is 0 into x power 1 and 0 into x square. So therefore the r in bits is 1 0 0. So how do we write the code word finally? It is r of x appended with the coefficients of d of x, that is 1 0 0, and the data bits are 1 0 1 1. So this is how we can verify the code word that is obtained through the encoder circuit is same as the procedure that we have followed to obtain the code word for the cyclic codes. Thank you for watching this video.